Yes, welcome back to Phone Lookout. Thanks for watching our videos. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe so as not to miss out. So today's problem is a bit of a unique situation, very rare. I haven't come across it before. And this is a Xiaomi Note 7. This phone, when you power it on, the backlighting is extremely dim, extremely dim. But how this phone failed was in a manner that this guy was using Google Maps, and when he reached where he was reaching, he ended the Google Maps app. But then, after a few minutes, he tried to wake up the screen. It just remained blank, and the phone was just heating up, nothing more, just heating up blank, and nothing more. So he decided to take it to some technician who managed to restore some bit of lighting, but it does so very dimly, and you have to critically pay attention to be able to see it, or you have to be in the shade to be able to actually see anything happening on the screen of the phone. So I am hoping to rectify this problem, and that's the subject of today's video. So I want to take this moment to also say thank you to each and everyone who is already subscribed. You mean a lot to us. Now, let me just take you and give you a glimpse. This phone is already opened. If you want a teardown video to show you how to open this phone and reach this far, I will put the video right there. It's a video suggestion, and I think I'll also leave the link in the bottom section where the comments are found. So yeah, I wanted to show you what it exactly shows, and let me plug in the battery and power on the phone. So plugged in the battery, and the power button is misplaced. The plastic that clicks on the power button is misplaced, so I am going to solicit my screwdriver services to click the power button, and think okay, I disconnected the vibrator with this lower plastic, so there's no telling whether I have successfully powered it on, but let me hope I did. I'm seeing that the screen is actually not properly lit. Now I think at this point I don't need this fingerprint fiber dangling off the motherboard, so I've decided to remove it. I do not know whether you can see that something is on the screen, but let me attempt to turn off the lights. I don't know whether you see anything, something on the screen right there. So that's how dim this screen is. So that's what we are attempting to solve. Let's get back. I would have shut it down normally, but seeing that I cannot see much that is happening on the screen, I'll just unplug the battery. It's not wise to do this. Okay, so the battery plugged out. I am interested in picking out the motherboard, the main board. So okay, disconnect this fiber that goes to the LCD and the touch layer. Now disconnect that main fiber that connects the main subboard to the main board to the lower subboard. Having done that, okay, always when you are attempting to lift out the motherboard, ensure that you've removed the SIM card tray. Otherwise you may rip that off the motherboard. Now that we're done with that, so the next thing is to unscrew that screw. That screw is what is holding the motherboard down, so that screw is also out of place. And then next thing is to lift this motherboard, but before we can do that, be sure to disconnect the coaxial cable that sends network signals to the lower segment of the phone. So having done that, I'm going to lift off this motherboard from this side, and it comes out nicely. So that's what we are interested in. So right now I think let me put this phone to the side and pull this motherboard of ours. Okay, so this is how the motherboard is, and let me come back. Yes, so yeah, we were right here. I'm trying to show you that this thing was there was an attempt to loop it right there. So I want to go about this and see what more can be done. This is the closest I can get to the motherboard. I wonder whether there's something like a zoom in option. Okay, yeah, it's actually there. Okay, so I think I'm going to use that way. So right now I am going to look at two things here. Let me first get my multimeter ready. Okay, so let's first get the camera out of the way, and this is the camera connector, and that one so the gets out of place. Having gotten this out of place, the next thing is to I am supposed to rip off the part of this from the board here to allow me be able to do something about this place, but I also have to get the front facing camera module out of place. Okay, that's out of place, and then we come down onto our motherboard. Now I've noticed two things that seem to be amiss. Now when you look at that pad right there and there is a capacitor that is supposed to be there, and that was ripped out of place. So I will need to find a capacitor that sits right there. I need to compare notes with the original board. So this is the terminal I was talking of, that and that. Set the multimeter into continuity mode, and I am going to measure from there to here. Okay, I have a value. Now I need to put this capacitor right there, and then come and deal with this and loop it to that side. Get this terminal to loop it onto that terminal, and then put a capacitor there. Okay. Now where am I going to find a donor capacitor? Plugging in my soldering iron into power, getting my soldering wire ready. I may need a board to donate a capacitor, so I'm going to pick one from this laptop motherboard right here, and I have settled for this one here. Should do the magic for me. Now to get that out of the board, I am going to solicit the services of my hot air gun. And we'll need tweezers, so I'm going to set the temperature to 300 degrees C. Which one had I settled for? I had settled for that one. This one right here is the one I want. So the push is 370. At some point I feel like I should also bring the soldering iron and see if it can help with dislodging. Okay, that's there. And just for fun, I think I'm going to pick out also that one. Now I can bring our board into the picture. Okay, try to zoom in, and then try to do that. Now I need them here and there. What I'm going to do is get some bits of that's what I need. Apply it there. Okay, so having done that, I'm going to get our capacitor. Let me pick it up with my tweezers right there and sit it down there. Okay, turn this around. Okay, it's seeming like it's too big for our place there. Let me first, okay, that side is set. Now there's a small capacitor right there behind it, and I don't want to touch that one. Now that we are done placing that in place, I'm just hoping it has settled in. Okay, I wonder whether you can see that. So now this looping wire, I need it to come to that point on the, can I achieve it is the question. Sorry, I got out of focus there. So I'm going to first disconnect this from there. Okay, now I need it to come to this tiny guy there. Okay, tiny guy. I hope it has stuck. May need the needle to confirm whether this has stuck. It has stuck. Now I have to bond these two. So let me first move this out of place like that and bring this there. So need to solder this there. Okay, like that. And having done that, now I'll need my multimeter to take a few measurements. Continuity. This there. Now the multimeter is in continuity mode. First zoom out. It's right there in diode mode. And these are my probes. So I am going to zoom in. Right there. And then with that, come here, put my probe at that point, and measure here. It's continuous to there. And then now onto my little capacitor there, onto my I am going to try to place this in a manner that it's not risking havoc inside here, and I'm going to run a test on it. Okay, that's what I have done. this thing was knocked off, so I've looped from here to there to there to there, and I will now have to plug this into the motherboard and see if I get any results. So right here I just want to test the motherboard. I'm going to hit the power button. I don't see anything going on. Okay, now I'm going back in. So I'm going to knock out this. Okay. Now that I've removed that out, I'm going to test again. So I want to put this back down in so I can hear the vibrator vibrate when I hit the power button. Okay, now plug in the battery. Then power on. Okay, I had it vibrate. Nothing. Okay, so this is what I have done. I have noticed that every time I put that capacitor that is supposed to be there, the backlight still remains dark, nothing. So I decided to just eliminate it and then loop this to here and then to that capacitor right there. So this helps send the backlighting signal into the screen. So I managed to get some backlight. Let me plug it in to zoom out and then bring this and plug it in. Now with our battery plugged in, we are going to hit the power button. Have we? No, nothing yet. So let me first plug the fiber again back in where and there, then bring this in. So I'm going to hit the power button. Okay, it vibrates. When vibrating, see Redmi show up. And notice there onto the screen. Okay, it's asking me to log in. So right now I believe when the backlight's blue, they blew those components that I have looped, and therefore this is the most brightness that I can get out of this thing. I can reduce it actually, but once I reach here it really goes black entirely. Okay, so that's it. So I believe now the bulbs in this screen are the ones that are missed, and this person will bear with this level of brightness. So that's how much brightness we have managed to get out of this. Yeah, brightness level, lower that, it goes off from there. Never seen a screen go off. Okay, so that's that for today. Thanks for watching Phone Lookout. Please do subscribe. So that's how you deal with Xiaomi Redmi Note 7, where the screen is black but stuff is happening in the background. It's because, yeah, a fuse or two have blown on the main board, so I decided to just loop them. That's it for today. Thanks for watching Phone Lookout. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll close it up off camera.